Just wanted to give you an update of what life's kind of been like from my perspective these last 2 years since the stroke, since the day we all our lives all changed on April 5th, 2021, when Mom suffered a severe brain bleed. That first night in the hospital was her eyes were awake or open, but they were vacant. But I kept talking to her. They let me stay. It was a huge room. Uh, when Dad finally got there, I just kind of got in the corner where they wouldn't make me leave, and it was a God thing that night, that week. They let both Dad and I stay in the room the entire time she was at OU Med. We had a couch, a recliner, places we could work. We were working on the Catch a Better Life book with copy editing on it, and uh, that's probably one thing that kept us from going stir crazy. And because we were reading the book over and over again, and we were literally staying in God's Word all day, and that always gives you a peace. Um, but like Jamie said in his message, I had peace from the time we got the phone call. It was literally God holding me in His hand. I didn't panic. Um, I just got down to business, which is what we had to do. Jack handled some of it. I handled some of it, uh, and got to Tulsa or Oklahoma City. Jack was my rock on the drive, and between talking to him and talking to God, I the trip went very quickly. And the again, agreeing with Jamie, the hardest part was seeing Dad hurting because Mom didn't know what was going on, and thank the Lord she doesn't remember any of the hospital stay. Uh, but seeing Dad hurt was what hurt me. Um, but still, there was a peace through all of it. And even whenever I was fighting to get her put in the right hospital in Tulsa when they transferred her, that was our only real nightmare to speak of was the our social worker at OU getting her transferred to the incorrect place, even though I'd given her the doctor's phone number. She called a different place that used to share a building with the place we wanted to go to. After a lot of me being firm, forceful, Jack pulling on my arm a few times, uh, I think they got tired of me griping and they arranged the transfer uh, to Kaiser, where they just did an awesome job with Mom. And again, at Kaiser, they allowed us to stay there with her the whole time. Either myself or Dad was there every day. I think Jamie spent one night. Jeremy may have spent one night. Um, but the people there were just wonderful, and they worked so hard with her and were able to work training me and Dad how to take care of Mom. And it's been a big change for me in business wise, because in addition to what I was already doing in the family business and our business is and real estate, I took on the role of primary caregiver for about the first 5 months after she got out of the hospital. She would stay with me during the week so I could take her to her therapies. and Dad would either come up here or we would take her down to the ranch during that time period. And so I have stepped back from real estate and taken over all the business side that Mom took care of in all our Jimmy Houston adventures. Uh, so I've got an office at my kitchen table now. I do have an office upstairs. It's actually an office, but Mom spends a lot of time when she's away watching the birds and the wildlife out the window, and so I need to be nearby where I can hear her. She does spend a lot of time asleep. In fact, she's sleeping right now while I'm recording this, and she's got a little bell, and when she rings it, I'll go up there and see what she needs. Uh, we watch this time of year. We're watching a lot of OU softball. Boomer Sooner, the girls are awesome. Love you, girls. And the wintertime we're watching football. We have gone on several trips the last 2 years. We've flown to New York City twice. We've gone to Philadelphia with her, Cozumel, Las Vegas, LA. We did a trip to Branson for the truck show with Shell, and the went to 2 shows with her up there. Uh, her and Dad and Jamie and not, Jeremy and Melissa drove up to uh, Bass Pro Shop's big shindig at with Garth Brooks, and that was an all-day affair. Uh, we've gone spent as much time as she wanted to in the casinos in Las Vegas. Taken her to our little local casino. We're not big gamblers. We play the penny machines, but it's fun to get out. And we take her to. We go to church every Sunday, just like we always have. They've got the chair pulled out so that she's got a space in the row and doesn't have to sit out in the aisle. Everybody's treats her wonderfully at both churches, at Midway and at Keys both. Um, we all go out as a family after church services at any of multiple local restaurants. We've only found one we couldn't really deal with the wheelchair in, but so we just don't eat there. When we're up here, Jack cooks a lot of our dinners. He's an excellent cook, and I think she likes his cooking more than mine. He has been such a blessing through it all. He's been patient with me. He's been patient with my crazy nutso family. uh, Jack was definitely a godsend to me. He really was, because I was not looking to even date at the time we were introduced. And God saw what was going to be happening down the line, and He brought me a doctor. And He has been so much help through it all. And as far as us knowing what to ask, or me asking Him, should we do this or that, or up medication, lower medication, change medication, um, He's been wonderful. And I just can't say how much I appreciate Him, how much I love Him, and what He's meant, not just to me, but to my whole family. And and how His family has also been a blessing to me. We've got a long road ahead of us. We don't know what. Of course, none of us knows what tomorrow's going to bring. Jesus is going to come back soon, sooner than later. I feel like, but it's just a day-to-day thing. We personally, it is physically taxing for me. Uh, I don't have a ton of upper body strength, so moving her around does take a toll on my muscles, my shoulders, my back, but we push through. Uh, I was raised by tough women, And that's what that's what we do. Uh, we take care of each other. And Mom always said I was half her other half because we always worked so well together. And that's even more so now than it had ever been. I get frustrated sometimes just because we have because we go through this. Not at her. She's a wonderful patient. She's she's easy to take care of as far as not being a needy patient. It's just some of the physical stuff. But we do it. And we, our whole family, this would have broken up a lot of families. And I've seen it happen. Our family, fortunately, has been blessed to have a very strong faith, and we have so leaned on it these last 2 years. Um, it's always been important to us, but how do people that don't have faith make it through and come out sane on the other side? There's been really only 2 breakdowns in 2 years that I've had whenever it was just so overwhelming that I just had to let it out. And one was the first time I left the hospital, and Jack took me down to the ranch to wash clothes and to get a good night's sleep. And he just held me while I cried and cried and cried. And had another one last month, just out of the blue. And I don't know. Sometimes think you I don't know why. Nothing specifically triggered it. But other than those 2 times, I have had peace. I have been able to function with less sleep than I normally would have from getting up. I don't fall asleep well to begin with, and I don't fall back asleep. And we usually get up about 3 times a night uh, with her. But God's taken care of my physical needs to be rested and be able to do what I need to do. And that too is a blessing. It's just something I never thought I'd be doing. And I am fortunate that I am able to, with my work and my husband's support, to be able to do this. A lot of people can't do this because they have outside jobs and um, they can't work from home like this and have the flexibility to take care of their loved one. So I'm grateful to God that I've got that, and it's I'm grateful to God that I've still got my mama. I really am, and it's a blessing. And those of you that have prayed these last 2 years, don't stop. We feel your prayers, and I've become Facebook friends with several of you. Uh, Carolyn, Renda, Val, uh, Martin. It's just, y'all are all special. You really are. And I do appreciate you. And keep praying because we can feel it. It gives us the peace and strength we need to keep on keeping on till Jesus comes. So I could ramble on and on forever. Obviously, see which one of my parents I take after. So, y'all have a great day, and tell somebody that Jesus loves them.